Afternoon and welcome to Drag Racing coming at you. Today we feature highlights from the 26th annual Western Nationals. This is the last chance West Australian racers have to set national records this season. And with the biggest competition eliminator field ever gathered in this country, this promises to be the meeting of the season. Now, just to add even more excitement, world record holder Victor Bray has brought his two-car Castrol team over to compete against all our local racers. It's interesting to note that our own John Zappia is the only driver from Western Australia to have ever raced against Bray before, and he beat him. We're all hoping that perhaps he can do it again. Here are Stuart Bond and Frank Hastings with all of the action.
Well, thanks, Tomo, and welcome to the Castrol Western Nationals.
18 cars qualifying into a 16-car field, and you know the action has been thick and fast since noon. Roy Scott in his Double B funny car, and alongside him, Murray O'Connor. Murray is chasing a lot of points right now to get his team over to the Australian Championships. He would love the #1 comp plate on the side of his Falcon.
Murray O'Connor certainly had a great season. So too is this guy, Roy Scott. And he would be very anxious to do well here against this man, Murray O'Connor. Murray giving the thumbs up to the crew. The door is closed. The boys are about to go racing.
Both drivers look very confident. Now, O'Connor's doing better on his handicap than just about anyone else in the field. #2 qualifier. And he is flying here. Scott won't catch him, and a win to O'Connor with a 7.52. Murray, you're going to experiment with anything at such an important event?
Yeah, we have to do it now if we're going to do it at all, Stu. You can't afford to go to the Nationals and start experimenting there. So we'll be playing around with the clutch and launch RPM and stuff like that a little bit tonight. As long as we get through the first round okay, from there on in we'll be playing. And
the national record would be a bonus?
That's what I'm aiming for. I want the national record more than anything else.
Peter Hamilton in the brand new Statesman Doorslammer.
A beautiful car. His competition is the man who built this car for him, Gregory Burns.
Well, Grumpy Burns with a big, strong burn out there. Looks like Hamilton's got problems this time. The crew out at the car jumping the fence. I'd say Hamilton's going nowhere. Not so Greg Burns. Stewie Bomb was pitside and caught up with him earlier today.
It's a tough job for you guys to get the funny cars down the track anyway. But today you're back in there with some naturally aspirated dragsters. You've got the very tough sedans to race. Do you have to change your game plan at all, or is it just go for broke?
No, go for broke, mate. We've found a little bit more power in the engine in the last month, so we're really hoping there's a 60 in it. I really believe there is. If there's any decent air out there, it'll certainly run a 660.
Burnsy launches off the line, a solo run for him. Goes around Hamilton's car, stationary on the track. It's a good number. Burnsy gets there a 6.75 at 333 Ks.
Ian Brown and Dave Simpson racing a top alcohol funny car and another top Doorslammer. WA fast becoming the home of the late model Doorslammers.
And something else, Stu, to make the Ford fans happy. Look at the badge on the front of that car. Dave Simpson's brand new Ford Falcon.
Powered by a TFX big block Chrysler Hemi. A very, very tough car indeed. And you can see the way it launched off the line for its first effort. These guys are very serious.
Brown's on a good number, gets there with a 6.37 at 361 Ks. Clive Hudson in the Double B funny car. A big, strong burnout up alongside him. Colin Richardson in the naturally aspirated Dragstar.
Now, the naturally aspirated cars have a bit of a problem getting horsepower when the air is bad, but at night time they really run on. Do you think that's going to surprise the supercharged cars?
Oh, well, I hope for a nice big cold night and make a few horsepower, yeah.
Well, Richo looking very relaxed in the car, Stu. Clive Hudson will be anxious to do well here. The guys have not had a great season, and I know they're wound up for this one.
Well, every pass for every racer tonight has to be their best. They all want to achieve a passage through to the finals, but without achieving their best on every lap, they're just not going to get there. Richo with a good leave, and Hudson once again with problems on the start line. The dragster does surprise and gets the win with a 7.81.
Well, the man that's flying the flag for Western Australia, John Zappia.
And the mighty Tirana returns. The Holden fans love this car, a small block Chevy, a big supercharger on the Wood Brothers Tirana.
All Western Australians will be barracking for this man today, John Zappia, the only man to have beaten Victor Bray in this field. And Stuart Bond was down in the pits and talked to him about his qualifying session.
With indexing, if you go too fast trying to get around your opponent, you reset your index, which makes it harder for the next round. So we're sitting pretty happy in the middle of the field where we are.
Zappia on the track, so too is Wood. Wood gets out quick. Zapp's starting to come at him. It's going to be close at the top end of the track. Oh, not much in it. Zappia with a 686.
Well, I'm sure Barry Wood wouldn't have expected John Zappia to have that speed coming past him. Right, he said, I've got it. Where did it go?
Oh, not much in that. Right on the line. Victor Bray out on the track, inside the cockpit, and look at that big Chevy. His opposition, Trevor Morrison.
The only altered out there, the little supercharged car, will have to work very hard against the sedans, and Victor Bray snuck into the field. Do you think that's going to change your plan?
No, to win the event, you've got to beat everyone who comes along, so we'll take them as they come.
We're in the office with Victor Bray. The man looks very relaxed. In fact, I've never seen a more relaxed racer. Marie makes sure everything's okay with him. Little wave of the hand. Parachute levers are where they should be, and Victor wants to race.
Greg Gower gives him the thumbs up. The car starts to roll forward. This is the Castrol Western Nationals.
The altered got to move first. Victor is doing the chasing. Watch for the altered through the window. Side by side, and Victor gets there with a 6:49, his best lap ever at Ravenswood Raceway.
Well, there's a lot of Ford fans on the mound waiting to see this car. Troy Critchly in the Castrol custom lineup, alongside him, Murray Orme.
Well, the two cars look very different now. The Chevy and the Ford going with slightly different livery. The deadly black Chevrolet and the bright red, the exciting Ford.
I build the whole car myself at the moment, and Vic gives me a good guideline if I get stuck, you know. I always ask him for any dramas or how's the air going, what he did to his car, and sometimes he might give me a bum steer or he might go the right way, you know.
Well, Troy with some real experience on the team for this event. Alan Dobson's spinning the spanners with him. Troy making all the calls, Victor signing the checks, and Troy gets a win with a 672.
Diane Davenport gets the solo run.
Well, a tragedy for the top qualifier. Peter Viersma from Welshpool Automatics running a 650 under a 680 national record. A brilliant pass, first time down the track. Unfortunately, the car wouldn't run for this round, so Diane gets the pass against him. She goes straight through into the next round, and her bye run becomes another tune-up for her. She's back in the sevens with a 797.
Coming at you after the break, Phil Jakovich's Wild Ride.
G'day. Having recently become a father, I'd like to